Hello, my name is Sylvana Candela. I'm a licensed acupuncturist, an author, and a publisher. And I bring you these regular videos to share with you about healing yourself to heal the world. Specifically, we're talking about energy medicine, but there's so much more to it than that. In fact, today is the last of a six-part series on healing with energy medicine. But it's a recurrent theme throughout everything that I'll be talking about. And today's topic, the last in the series of six on your toolbox of energy medicine, it's about flower essences. And there are other essences, tinctures, remedies, and so on, which I could put out there, but I want to focus just on the flowers for today. And what exactly is that? What does that mean? What does it do? For those of you who are not familiar with it, some of you may have heard of the Bach flower remedies or rescue remedy. Those are flower remedies or flower essences. Many of us make our own. I make my own. And the Flower Essence Society, which I started sharing about a little last time, is a very good resource for you to check into. And they give a lot of information. They also sell their own products, and they kind of navigate the whole thing for you, what it's about, what many of the basic flower remedies are. I use the word remedies and essences interchangeably. And I do recommend that you look them up and also check out my website, sylvanacandela.com, where it says flower essences. And it's not just the flowers. I also have other essences on there as well. So you can get a broader view of that from my website and also from my book. It's all in my book too, Gently Heal Thyself. So I'd like to first go into with you what it is and what it isn't. Okay. A lot of people confuse flower remedies or essences with herbal medicine, which it is not, and with aromatherapy and essential oils, which also it is not. Herbal medicine is the whole product. It's a whole herb, the whole plant, flower, whatever it is. Substance. There's a lot to herbal medicine. There's a lot of substances that we use for herbal medicine. And basically you cook it, and you're taking the liquid that comes from, cooking the different substances that you use. So the other one, which is the essential oils, is a concentrate of the flowers or whatever it is, leaves, flowers, and you're extracting the oil. So that's a concentrate. And for the most part, you either inhale it or you put it on you in some form, either mixed with a lotion base or whatever. And I don't recommend ingesting them, although some people do. Some companies do, and that's up to them. I don't recommend that. But you can, discuss that with your practitioner and whether or not that's okay if you're doing essential oils. This is very different. This is the energy. It's similar to homeopathy in that it's a very minute part of the actual plant or flower. In fact, it's no part of it. It's the vibration or the frequency part of it. And I'm going to explain to you what that means and how that works. But first, I want to say to you what happens when you take it in. There are different ways of taking it in. You can ingest it in some kind of medium, and the medium that I like to use, usually it's an alcohol base. What I like to use is apple cider vinegar and honey. That's the medium that I use to create my essences. You can also do it in water. If you do it in water, though, you'll want to use it just for yourself and use it quickly because standing water gets moldy and mildewy. So that's why we like to use something that has that will maintain, that it's not going to go rotten on you or something easily. That's why people use alcohol to make them, or I use apple cider vinegar and honey. Um, so that's the base, and um, what you're doing is you're extracting the vibration, and that vibration goes when you take it as a tincture like that. It goes under the tongue, and it goes to your body directly to your bloodstream, and then it goes to the deep cellular level of your body. And it interacts on a very, how shall we say, not the way herbs and food do, which, go to your whole system. This goes straight to your energy level, your chi. It works on your chi level of your body. That's a good way of putting it in Chinese medicine terms, but in understanding it on an energy level. Okay. And so how do we make that? How do you extract, energy or vibration? So here's what I'm going to show you, the way I make mine. And these are for the tinctures. There are other ways you can do this too, but I'm going to start by showing you how I do the tinctures. So basically, this is, okay, so you've got the double bowl method, and this is what they show you also in the instructions in the Flower Essence Society. So this bowl is going to hold my liquid medium, and this bowl holds the flowers. It goes in like this. Put the flowers in the middle, and the vinegar I pour out here in the other bowl. So the two don't touch, okay? They never touch. I put other things in too, like rocks and crystals, prayer, scripture, stuff like that. But, and that's all in my book too, how I do that. But I'm not really here to teach you how to make it specifically, just to give you the basics so you understand it. And the Flower Essence Society in your book, they have specifically like this, how to make it. So then you put a cover over the inner bowl. This is what I do. Okay, so so that frequency that's coming off the flowers is going to bounce around. Those vibrations are going to bounce around inside this bowl. And then I take another one, this, and I'm going to cover it on top of the whole thing once I've put the liquid in, so that it looks like this, all covered up. And then I'll put some nice things on top here. I'll put a cross, I'll put whatever, is appropriate for me that I like to use. You can do whatever you want, really. I mean, it's, there's no right or wrong to this. It's whatever is positive energy, things that are positive for you. Scripture is good too. Whatever, your good thoughts, your good energy goes on top and around it. And I'm going to leave it sit for 3 days. And I'm going to bless it 3 times in those 3 days in 72 hours. And then it'll be ready. Now that's how I do it. And there's other ways. And then when it comes out, it'll come out the vinegar. I mix it with the honey then, and I bless it again, and that's it. That's my flower remedy. Now, how does it do that? You may ask. Okay. Well, in quantum mechanics, we have a thing called quantum tunneling. Quantum tunneling has to do with wave particle theory. And basically, and this is a yin and yang Chinese medicine idea too, where yin transforms into yang and yang transforms into yin. So in wave particle theory, they transform into each other as well. So when you're putting the solid material in here and covering it up, quantum tunneling says that, I'm going to hold this out here, that this will go into that. The energy of what's in here will go into there, okay? And you've got them closed up like that, and it's vibrating right inside next to the liquid medium. That's quantum tunneling. And the wave particle theory also says that those waves coming off of the flower and go into the liquid medium, which is the apple cider vinegar, forms the particle of the healing substance, which is the essence or the remedy. If that sounds confusing, It's not. It's very simple. It's a little hard to explain, but that's, one way you might look at it is to think of other energy things and waves that like radio frequencies, and how that translates by going into the receiver, and then you hear things from that. That's another way of understanding this. Or how you can see color in objects, even though color is around us all the time. We don't see it until those color frequency or vibrations hit an object, and then we see the color. So it's kind of like that, you know. Anyway, that's energy. Now, another way we can do this besides drinking those is we can have the flowers in our home. And yes, they're giving off a certain frequency. And when we hold them, when we smell them, when we go, ah, you can feel their energy. And another way is to have photos of them. And this I like to do, and I keep these in my prayer room. And this is a rose, as you can see. So you can take in the energy of this just by meditating on it. You can do that. And here's another one. Let's see if I get the right side up. This is iris. And this is also in my prayer closet, because prayer room, prayer closet, same thing. And the energy that this gives off, the healing energy, when you make a tincture out of it, when you make an essence out of it, is it's good for all kinds of different kinds of pain, especially dental pain. I found it's very good for that. That's taking it as a tincture. And it's also good for detoxing, for all kinds of things. Liver detox, liver cleanse. And this one, the rose, is good for feeling your loving energy. One of the things I've noticed about rose, and I work with it a lot, but I emphasize a little caution with it, with this one, because what it will do, the rose in particular, is one that will break your heart open. So it's one of those, be careful what you pray for. If you want to be a more loving person, you have to break open those barriers that are in the way. And that's what rose does. It's very powerful. And you may find yourself very weepy and having some not so good feelings for a little while before it feels better. One of the things I recommend, if you want to do that, if you want to go that route, carnation is very good for releasing those emotionally painful things from relationships in particular. That's the carnation. So if you want to do rose, I would recommend having some carnation on hand. And if it gets to be too much and too intense, the carnation just kind of mellows it out. It harmonizes the rose. So you can take it in stages, and it's okay. So that's different ways that you can take these. And there's more, and people make them in all different ways. There are so many different ways of using and taking the flowers, but they're very powerful, and they really get to the heart of whatever the issues are. And they help, and they're wonderful for all kinds of emotional things. If you look it up, you'll find, like for instance, Star of Bethlehem and Sunflower are wonderful for depression. And you can get, I know Star of Bethlehem you can get from the Bach Flower Remedies. Sunflower I make a lot because it's so easy to obtain. Sunflower, when I was living in Colorado Springs, was everywhere, when it was in season in the summer. And yes, you can dry them, and I do that, and put them in a jar so they're sealed, or it's plastic bag, or whatever you want to do, and keep them for when you're ready to use them. And then they still work just fine. The energy is still in there. You can use it that way. So with that, well, I should share with you a few. I was going to just share a couple of things. Okay, give you a testimonial. Yeah. Somebody had asked me about that. Oh, okay, testimonial with flowers. There are just so many, that I think the one that hits me most is carnation. And that's what I'm going to be starting with: carnation, sunflower, and what we were just talking about, Star Bethlehem, and rescue remedy, because of what we're going through now with COVID. Our, our depression, our difficulty staying at home, our sadness and loneliness, which is carnation helps a lot with that. Why? Because we're missing our loved ones. It's to do with other people and how we feel. So I'm going to start with that, and when I go into the next video where I'm talking about, dealing with COVID, and the feelings that come up, that we're all dealing with. For some of us, it's anger. Why do I have to stay at home and do this and not have that? And it's frustration. It's frustration. It's grief. It's sadness, and all of these things can be very much helped with flower essences. Can be very much assisted, and we can receive their help, their assistance, their love, and their guidance. The flowers are here to love and nurture and take care of us, and that's why we feel so good in a garden. You walk into a garden. Ever notice that you walk into a garden and it's like, oh, that feels so good, because they are loving us. Flowers are sending us all kinds of love. And then I will just mention a little bit more about next time. It's going to be this is a 6-part series that I'm ending right now with healing with energy medicine. And the next one will be coping with COVID on all levels. So primarily, we're looking at the emotional, psychological, and mental levels of this, and how there's immune support that you can get to keep yourself healthy. Iris is one of them that I recommend. That's just a general overall, like added to your zinc and vitamin C and everything else that you're taking. I recommend that too. It's very good. And any kind of herbal medicines that you're taking, it's all very good to keep yourself healthy and strong. A good diet, a good night's sleep, all those on the physical level are good. And we're going to go into that more next time, okay? And the emotional and psychological with the flowers. So thank you so much for joining me today. And I so much appreciate your being here and taking your time to listen to these videos. And hopefully you've gotten some benefit from these. And anything you want to share, please do in the comments below. And like and subscribe. And until the next time, peace, joy, blessings, and much, much, much love to you all. Take care.